Hi, I'm JJ. Today I'm going to be talking about, I had heard on Thomas R. Howell's page, he was talking about books that you want to read in your lifetime. 10 books that you want to read before you die. And you're supposed to be picking books that you're not rushing to have on your TBR, you're not having a deadline or anything. You're just going to take your time over years just trying to get these books that you want to savor. So these are the ones that I chose. The Traitor Baru Cormorant, and this one is a trilogy. I have been meaning to read this, but it's a political fantasy, and I was warned that some of the subject matter is a bit darker and sometimes hard to read. So I always have to make sure I'm in the right mindset for this, especially in our current times. So I keep putting it off, but I do intend to read those in my lifetime. Another one I've had kind of daunting just in the scope of what it's talking about. So this one is Life and Fate by Vasily Grossman, and it's about Russia during the 20th century, and it's kind of touted as his response to like War and Peace type of thing. Just it says it's justice. It does justice to the blend of taboo-breaking historical investigation, profound philosophical thought, and literary innovation. And so this has been something that I just know that I want to take my time with, but I definitely know I want to get to it sooner rather than later, because one of the YouTubers that I follow and really enjoy his insights, The Active Mind, he said this is the best book that he's read this year. And so I definitely want to make sure that I get to that one. This one, I never hear anyone talk about it. It's something that I found and I'm excited for, but just the scope of how big it is, it's going to be one that I'm going to take my time through, savor, just slowly make my way through it. It's over 1,300 pages, but it's called A Suitable Boy, and it's I guess it's kind of like an epic family drama, politics, you know, the whole social and political scene of India. So that one's gonna take me some time. Another one is When Paris Went Dark, the City of Light Under German Occupation. So when I was reading a bunch of World War II history and stuff, especially with my very big fondness for Erich Maria Remarque, I started trying to see like other resistance fighters, other anti-war stuff, and there was a series that I started. I have only read the first series, but it really made me question and want to dig deeper into the French resistance during that time. And I can't remember what the first series of that is, but I will link that down below. But it made me investigate further. It had a lot of information that I was unaware of, just stuff that interests me, and that made me pick this one up. Another one that is definitely going to take me time is The Silk Roads. It's a new history of the world. And so I had just finished the Islamic history, or the loss of Islamic history. And I just want to, I have been wanting to read this one, and I feel like the other one has given me a bit of an overview, but this will give me more ancient history, and it will feature a lot more than just the Islamic aspect of it. It's going to be a lot of the Asian aspect of it, with Chinese and Indian, and you know, all the ones that were involved in the Silk Road. I had done a couple of lecture series on Great Courses Plus, and Some of them were like ancient Asian history, and then I also did a couple that were kind of at least exploring a little bit further out in the area, and I feel like this was gonna be a good continuation of that, just because it gives me a bit more in depth of the stuff that I had already was interested in and wanted to know. You know, there's different stuff, you know, Marco Polo and all that stuff that you can read about, but this is going to be interesting. And there's pictures in here as well. Just some of the stuff that was traded on the road, some of the artwork and stuff. So you had the Silk Road, but you also had, because of the Silk Road, that's how a lot of the religions and stuff passed from country to country, just because of trading ports and stuff like that. So I hope it explores a bit of that as well. Another one I have is Roman honor and the fire in the bones. So everybody reads a lot of Roman history and stuff. So this is just on par with that. It will tend to be a bit more dense and stuff. There's lots of footnotes and everything. It's very academic minded, but it's about their customs and stuff when it comes to their deaths and what to do with, you know, their burials and what it means to have honor, especially when you die. Another one, battles that changed history. And so this one is just going to be one that you can flip through. There's a lot of pictures, a lot of just information, because it's battles around the world. So it's the battles that decided the fate of nations. And so, you know, you have the American Revolution, you have Napoleon, I'm sure there's Alexander the Great, and probably Attila the Hun, Genghis Khan, you know, a bunch of anyone that, oh, this is Constantinople, just stuff throughout the history. There'll probably be maybe some more information for the Crusades, which it does look like, because it's talking about Jerusalem and stuff here. So that's just one I want to flip through and maybe get to a war, a battle here and there. And then the other one that I have is the history of the world map by map. And I've always been fascinated, not just with geography, but with cartography and how maps, like how you decide where the lines of each nation are going to be, especially when so much of it is arbitrary based on who wins the war and what they want for land and conquering and stuff. There's a great picture here of the Terracotta Army. And so I'm really hoping to just get a more thorough view of the whole world with this, but you know, the evolution of the world with all these different cultures always taken over. You know, you have Assyrians, Babylonians, Persians, and then, you know, then you start having the Greeks and the Romans, and that's not even to do with what's happening with the Islamic nations and the Asian countries and stuff. So just a different where the, you know, war lines are met, and how they affect, I'm hoping how they affect politics and everything throughout the world, as it, oh, I was just talking to somebody about, so when Yugoslavia broke up, and then you have the invasion of Bosnia and stuff by the Serbs and stuff like that. So just a lot of stuff that I had heard. Some of it will be more contemporary, where I heard it or it was going on in my lifetime, but I didn't really have a grasp on it just because I was young at the time, or I didn't have the full scope of it. Here's the abolition of slavery. I really like that picture. There's some really great artwork in here. And then the other two, I don't have. I really have been meaning to read the Poldark series by Winston Graham. I love the TV show. I rewatched it again recently with my mom, and it just makes me want to finally read that series. So I want to get to that sometime in my lifetime. And also The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. That is a daunting one just because it's so long, and you know, it's hard to commit to something if you don't really have any kind of notion about it, except that I really love fantasy. I haven't even watched the new series yet just because I wanted to read the first book before I watched the series. So that's something that, like, even if I just start it and it ends up not being for me, like, that's one that I want to eventually make it to. And if it is, just to take my time and not rush through that series. I want to enjoy that world building in that world for as long as possible. So these are the 10 books that I want to take my time with, savor, and enjoy in my lifetime. Thank you.